Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that, welcome on into another video. We are currently witnessing one of the biggest successful protests in my entire lifetime, and oh my gosh, by golly, I am jolly. I'm behind it. I'm ready for it. There is this whole thing going on revolving around the TikTok ban. You know, the TikTok ban, the ban with TikTok? That's definitely gonna happen, guys. It's definitely coming around the corner. It's been around the corner for a long time. It's a big-ass corner. I remember talking about it over a year ago. Well, that corner is finally approaching. This Sunday, as I'm watching this about 3 days from now, and maybe it's already happened for those of you watching it later in the future, which you can let me know in the comments if it actually happened, because honestly, my authentic and true reaction to the TikTok ban is sure, it's happening. Definitely. TikTok's definitely getting banned, buddy. It's definitely gone this time. And I know some of you might be like, Evan, what's with your reservations? Why do you not believe the ban's gonna happen? I mean, we've been seeing article after article, countless articles talking about how the ban's gonna happen, how Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, wants to buy it. There's even Mr. Beast out here trying to grab a piece of the pie. Well, it's because, dude, be real for a second. Think about it. America wants to ban TikTok. Why? Well, the current reason the US government's been spouting out of their buttholes is not that billionaires gave them a big check and a slap on the ass and told them to do it, but that they want to protect us. They want to keep us safe. They want to make sure that the big bad boys over at China don't steal our data and know that we like cat videos. And so Mark Zuckerberg can take that data and then sell it to China anyways. Allegedly. All alleged, because I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to turn my house into a thermonuclear wasteland like Dusty Divot. Oh god, I got a Facebook notification. So then tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Both Donald and Biden have been pushing for TikTok to not be banned in the United States. Dude, one of you is the president. Someone make a decision and make it fast, because you got a few days left, and then it's kicking the bucket. Like, I get it. I understand. There's checks and balances, so no one has any absolute power, aside from people with a lot of money who can pay people with power. But why are we struggling so hard to make this decision? Well, it's probably because of a little app called Red Note, or XiaoHongShu. No, I'm not sleepy. That was not a snore. It is a name for an app that stands for Little Red Book. Stands for, like Mandarin's just an acronym or something. It means Little Red Book in Mandarin. Kind of like the Little Red Book that Mao Zedong required Chinese people to carry around everywhere, that had all these like rules and shit in it. I don't know. I'm not in China, so I don't know what the book says. But like that, it's the name for an app where people essentially just kind of it's like social media. It's like Pinterest, basically. However, the name sounds a lot like that one thing Yap Dollar used to say at the end of every video he recorded.
As the legendary Mr. Miyagi once told Daniel-san, syrup egg roll feet. XiaoHongShu. These milky jugs, I become enthralled. XiaoHongShu. I am sexually attracted to Skibidi Toilet.
So the fact that Yap Dollar this entire time was either A, a marketing scheme for XiaoHongShu the app, or B, literally just like quoting Mao every time he posted a video is pretty hilarious to me, and I didn't even know. Although I quite literally could have just looked it up. The internet, shockingly enough, is free. You can just use that shit. But alas, I suffer from a disease called I don't care. It's terminal. I have 4 days to live. But regardless, what is this app? Well, initially it was supposed to be a women's fashion sense app where people would just hang out, share fashion sense and makeup stuff. It's like Instagram. It was like Instagram, basically. Now, this information was hard to come across. I actually had one of my moderators talking with some of the Chinese users on the app who were disclosing some of this information for me. And over time, the app just kind of branched into like a life advice app, kind of like Pinterest. As I said, it looks like Pinterest as well. This is literally the layout for the app. I don't really like using it. It confuses me. I'd rather be able to look at one thing at a time. It's like a sensory overload whenever I try to log in, alongside the fact that I don't speak Mandarin, so I can't really use it, which is a problem that a lot of people are coming across right now. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. After spending 24 hours on Red Note, I feel like Lemonade just gets us more. An app also owned by TikTok, by the way. Like, the language and vibe are way easier to connect with. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. You are wrong. It's an app made for Chinese people. Of course you don't know what's going on it. It's like moving to China and being like, why does no one here speak my language? Why does no one here speak American? I don't know. I can't. I'm able to tell you. Like, there is apparently a statistic that was leaked that Duolingo has reported a 216% increase in users learning Mandarin Chinese in the US following a transition from TikTok to XiaoHongShu. So people are learning. I think that's pretty cool. However, I find it hilarious that the United States, in an effort to try and get people to stop using Chinese apps, now has a portion of the population trying to learn Chinese. You have thrown the bag so far that it's in the wrong continent now. Like, how do you mess up that bad, US government? It's like trying to watch the Minions do a pole vaulting competition. What? And so at the moment, Red Note is sitting comfy and cozy at #1 in the App Store for downloads in the past few days within the category of social media, which is absolutely hilarious. Imagine the green blood boiling in Mark Zuckerberg's reptilianoid body right now after funneling millions of dollars into lobbying the US government to ban TikTok, so people might even consider throwing a stone's glance at Facebook. But alas, no one gives a shit because they hate him so bad, they're going to use an app with a language they don't even understand because they don't want to use anything else that bad. That is hilarious. It's so funny. It's so goofy because, like, they tried so hard and got so far, and in the end, it did not even matter. And it's also pretty funny seeing years and years of American propaganda being fizzled away like my stomach lining every time I drink a Diet Coke because they're just having conversations with normal Chinese citizens and learning about the country. I saw a few screenshots like this one right here talking about like, wait, social credit score isn't a real thing? And they're like, not really, and technically impossible to do because we have 1.4 billion people. And they're like, social credit? We don't have this at all. But Western countries believe that my social credit's zero, then I will die, which is true. Even if you look it up on Google, people are like, yeah, China uses social credit. Yeah, that's interesting, because I asked the literal Chinese guy, and he said no. I mean, to be fair, there's another instance of don't trust everything you see online. Like, I could go on Facebook, and literally every other post is like a Nigerian prince asking for pictures of my butthole in return for hundreds of thousands of dollars, which, nah, I'm good, thanks. So I don't really know. I don't really know what to trust. However, it is very interesting. There's other ones, too. Let me look at some of these. I heard somewhere there was a limit for how long Chinese people can play on video games for. Is it punishable? Is that true at all? Only children have limits on their video game playing time. Wow, that's almost a good thing. Huh. This is to prevent them from getting addicted to video games, of course. Many kids play games using their parents' accounts. That's crazy. That sounds like literally just America. Huh. Real head scratcher, huh? This last screenshot, it's a real head scratcher. I don't know if I trust this one as much. It says, is Temmie really using a bunch of children working and need saving? No. I don't know what that was. We do not use underage labor. I work in this industry, and there's a strict rule about this. Zero tolerance in my company, at least. So no goods can be produced by children. It's inefficient. It's kind of, what kind of lunatics believe in nonsense like this? You would be surprised. Which, I mean, it might not be child labor, but I do know there's been videos that have released of the working conditions in Temu factories not being the best. However, have you ever been to an Amazon factory? They pee in bottles. Which I literally made a video about, by the way. You should check that out. It's older than the average, like, TikTok user, but still, it's a good video. Check it. There have been some controversies regarding XiaoHongShu already, aside from the fact that it's literally a Chinese-owned app, so if you plan to have a government job at any point in your life, don't download it. Like, I have a buddy who has a citizenship in Russia. He's not even, like, someone who lives there. He lives in America and has lived there most of his life, but he has a citizenship over there. And due to that, he has to sacrifice an arm, a leg, and one of his nuts just to try and attempt to get a government job. So if you ever plan to get a job for, like, the FBI or even, like, the Postal Service, don't download the app. You can't read a damn thing on there anyway. You'd be hurting yourself more than helping yourself. Like, and even you can even claim, like, oh, no, I didn't download it. I never had it in the first place. And me when I lie? Yeah, they have ways of figuring it out. There's a funny thing called the digital footprint. You might have heard of it. They have ways. They will, in fact, find it out no matter what you do. But, of course, it's China that monitors us too closely. This video is starting to sound like a Chinese propaganda video. I need to clarify real quick before we go any farther. I'm not some sort of Chinese spy. I also like America sometimes. I'm just, like, if you're a member of a country, you should be allowed to call out their own hypocrisies. That's kind of part of the, like, if it's democracy, hopefully, kind of, we try. So, you know, I'm allowed to call out their and criticize them if they do a stupid, like this situation precisely. But back to the criticism and the one main issue that's been coming out of Red Note so far, there have been people complaining that America has done what America does best. We colonized that bitch, baby. We have moved in and taken it by force. Like, I don't know if you saw the snippet of, like, just me scrolling through the app for about 3 seconds earlier in the video, but that looked like the inner machinations of the brain of a lobotomy victim. That was not a fun experience. I went on the app yesterday, and the first post was a KK. It was an ad for them, the Triple K guys. What the fuck, dude? And I've been seeing people try and come in and, like, apologize for us. I saw this one post by this one girl, Star404.
So, like, Loki, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Me neither. Me neither.
Americans are coming
Me, I'm
here.
an American.
So, sorry if y'all hate us. I promise we're not gonna... We'll do our best, but, like...
Coca-Cola in the video, immediately banned in China.
Y'all could just, you know, give me some recommendations, put me in the right direction.
Very considerate. I appreciate it. Give me your data. Hi, little beauty. You can marry me. I agree. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I've also been seeing a lot of TikToks of people posting about like, oh my god, life in China looks so great. America's been propagandizing us this entire time. Well, to be real, keep in mind, a lot of these videos you're going to be seeing on an app like Red Note are going to be people posting like that have, you know, a substantial amount of, a good amount of dough in their pockets. It's not going to be like, it's the same thing with TikTok. If someone isn't exactly the most monetarily endowed individual, they're not going to be posting super high quality videos, and so the videos aren't going to go viral. So a lot of the viral videos you're going to see on Red Note are going to be rich Chinese people. So of course their life's going to look great. Rich Americans' lives are pretty damn great too. So like, keep that in mind. It's not necessarily an anti-propaganda thing. It might just literally be that you're looking at a rich person be rich. Oh my god, dude. I was doing research for this video and I just stumbled across a tweet of someone recommending Ni Hao Kai Lan for... apparently, it's a really good if you want to know the basics for Red Note. Sure, dude, sure. Why not? At the core of it all, the usage of Red Note, I believe, is kind of a protest. People aren't going to stay on it for very long. They're going to realize they don't know how to speak Mandarin, and then they're going to dip. And, of course, I believe that before they dip, the U.S. is going to try and reverse this. There have already been a bunch of people putting forward proposals to push the TikTok ban back another 200-some days. And if that happens, it's not getting banned. There's no way TikTok's getting banned if they push it back again, just because they realize now that if they do, people are just gonna go to China. Not literally, but digitally. And it was a successful protest. This was a successful protest against the US government, and I couldn't be prouder because, honestly, despite the fact that I'm not a big TikTok user, I don't care for TikTok, I don't use it, I do think that banning it was a bit of an overstep. Because, to be real, your data is being sold to by any social media app. All of them. I mean, the word data at this point is basically just a buzzword to fearmonger people into being scared of other countries. Like, of course, China's collecting data on us. So is the Americas. Then you know what ads to show us. Like, what do you think Xi Jinping's gonna log into my Instagram and post a selfie for me? An Instagram that you should follow, by the way. Who would have thought? No, but seriously, if anything, the only real valid criticism to data collection is not the fact that it's being collected, period, but the fact that the companies who collect it are absolute dog water dookie at keeping it stored properly, and then they get hacked, and all my data is just spread across the internet like Elon's legs in front of Donald Trump. It's absolutely absurd. There's literally a website that talks about basically every year since 2007, Facebook having a data breach, and then all of my data is just squirted across the interwebs. Dude, Zuck, keep it in your pants! And so, of course, trying to claim that TikTok being owned by Tencent, which has some affiliations with the CCP, is trying to claim that now your name is like Xi Jinping is looking up what your search history is right now, is unfair. It's not true. It doesn't make sense. No one gives a shit. And China, if you are spying on me, at least subscribe while you're at it. And you guys can too, because I am gonna hit the road. This was a fun little video to throw together, something quick. It was very unorganized, so I apologize for that, but I just found this app so interesting and wanted to talk about some of the facts that I've seen online and wanted to share them with you. Of course, as I said, very disorganized video, so if there are details I missed or details you think that I should have covered, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be discussing with you guys. I always love chatting with you guys in the comments, so stick around. Thank you for being here. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you are new, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and
再见，订阅色为里诺。
Zhaizhen Dingwei Sawe Ilnuo. Wait, Savarino's in Chinese? What?